Well, hey everybody, my name's Bellybolt and welcome back to the Pokehistorian. This is the show where old Maddox just gets on this camera and does whatever he feels like. And today, he's going to be looking at 10 Pokemon cards that should be in any Pokemon card collector's collection. So without further ado, here's Maddox. Wow, thank you for such a great introduction, Bellybolt. Hello everyone and welcome back to the Pokehistorian. As Bellybolt indicated, we're looking at 10 Pokemon cards that should be in any Pokemon card collector's collection. So without further ado, let's go ahead and dive in, shall we? First up, got old base set Charizard here. This should come as no surprise. This is one of the most iconic Pokemon cards, if not the most iconic Pokemon card of all time. You don't necessarily have to pick up this original base set printing of this card. This card was also printed in XY Evolutions and 25th Anniversary Celebration set, among other sets. So you can get yourself one of the reprints. But you definitely got to get it at some point and in some version because it's a very iconic artwork. It has so much history for the Pokemon TCG contained within it. Done by Mitsuhiro Arita. It will definitely serve you well to be in your Pokemon card collection. So let's move on to number 2. We got Umbreon Gold Star. So this is the 25th Anniversary Celebration set reprint. Now, I'm not saying you have to have this particular Gold Star. You could also get any of the other ones that are really cool. However, a lot of the Gold Star cards, unless they were the ones from the Celebration set, are astronomically expensive and will be pretty difficult to get. So that's why I recommend you pick this one up or you pick up the Greninja. The cool thing about gold stars are a couple things. Number one, they have this neat little gold star next to the Pokemon's name. The Pokemon is a shiny variant, as you can see here with this Umbreon. And the Pokemon is coming right out of the frame, as you can see there with its paw. Also, all of them were done by the same artist, Fukuda, which is a nice little thing. So yeah, go ahead and pick up one of these cards for your collection. All right, on to number 3. We got a Vaporeon VMAX card. So my recommendation is you need to get at least one alternate art VMAX Pokemon card in your collection. Some of the most affordable ones are the Vaporeon VMAX, the Flareon VMAX, and the Jolteon VMAX because they are promo cards, and they are absolutely gorgeous. The VMAX Pokemon were very important to the Sword and Shield era because they were the gimmick essentially of those games. You had a giant version of the Pokemon, which is what they would turn into. And as you can see here, the giant Vaporeon is surrounded by a bunch of different smaller aquatic Pokemon. And there's a lot to see in this artwork, so that's why I wanted to show you this one. I mean, you could count the Pokemon. I think there's got to be over 20 Pokemon in this particular artwork. So this is the one I recommend you pick up, but feel free to get any of them. Moving on to number 4. You got to get yourself at least one Mega Pokemon card. This Mega Lucario EX is a recent favorite of mine because there's just so much going on in the background here. So many different Pokemon fighting. You got Abomasnow down there. You got Mega Latios. And you got Venusaur and Lucario, of course, out here in the air somehow duking it up. Don't ask me how Venusaur got airborne. I'm not really sure, but it still is a really cool artwork. If you don't know what a Mega Pokemon is, it's basically a type of like super evolved form of a popular Pokemon, in this case Lucario. So they don't fully evolve into like a brand new Pokemon per se, but they just evolve into like a souped up version of an existing Pokemon. And a lot of people love them. All right, moving on to number 5. You got to get yourself at least one dark Pokemon card in your collection. I have chosen to display this Dark Dragonite card because I think it's really cool. The whole shtick with the dark Pokemon is they are Pokemon that were mistreated by Team Rocket, so they're super mean and tough. They first appeared in the original Team Rocket set, and they were featured in a couple other sets that have come out since, such as Neo Destiny. And we hadn't really seen anything like this in the TCG before they came out. We had just seen kind of vanilla Pokemon, so to get these kind of bad boy and bad girl Pokemon like this that were angry and very tough was definitely pretty new for the TCG at the time, and it makes the cards more interesting to look at, I would say. All right, let's move on to number 6. Old Ancient Mew. So at least for the North American version of this card, the only way you could get it was by going to see Pokemon the second movie. I think it was called The Power of One. You go to the theater and they give you this card. Of course, there's also several other printings of it that are pretty popular as well. But there's really no other Pokemon card that looks like this on the market. It looks like ancient hieroglyphs, where the Pokemon would typically have the normal text. And the background there, you can see all kinds of interesting little pieces of artwork. And believe it or not, I did a whole episode on this card where we go through this card in detail and do the translation on it and go through all these things in the background and tell you what exactly they mean. So you might want to go check that video out. But yeah, truly an iconic Pokemon card. Go ahead and get yourself a copy of Ancient Mew. All right, moving on to the 7th card on this list. Got to get yourself a Tag Team GX card from the Sun and Moon era. I chose to show you this Moltres, Zapdos, and Articuno card because I think it's one of the coolest ones. And it happens to be from Hidden Fates, which is one of the most iconic Pokemon card sets of all time. A lot of the regular tag teams were done by Mitsuhiro Rita, which is really cool. And I just love this card. The whole shtick, obviously, with the tag team cards, you got multiple Pokemon on the same card all battling together. Haven't seen that since this era. Hopefully we'll get some more someday, but right now, the only ones we ever have are the ones in Sun and Moon. So we'll see what happens with that. All right, moving on to number 8. Got to get yourself a copy of the reprint of the base set Pikachu that was done in full art. This is available in the 25th anniversary celebration set. As you can see here, you got the original base set Pikachu printed, except now it's a full art where it covers the entire card. You've also got some fun little Easter eggs in the background with a Caterpie up there, and then a Parasect back there too. This artwork of Pikachu is very iconic, so to get it done in a full art was fantastic. It still is a very affordable card and certainly worth you picking up. All right, moving on to number 9. Get yourself an E-Series Pokemon card. Doesn't matter which one. There's so many cool ones out there. Go ahead and take a look at Expedition, Aquapolis, Skyridge, any of those early Ruby and Sapphire sets. Take a look and go ahead and get one. These cards are truly one of a kind because they got these barcodes on the left-hand side and the bottom sides of the Pokemon card. And when you scan these into an e-reader device, which I'm sure all of you have laying around your house, it will play different games with you, or there'll be like a song that Meryl will sing, for example, in this case. And it will also give you Pokedex entries. So every card does something a little bit different. So there's a lot to find with these cards. Definitely should get one in your particular collection. This one's from Aquapolis. And then finally, one card that you absolutely have to have in your collection is this Light Jolteon card here. No other light Pokemon card will do. It has to be this Light Jolteon. It's from Neo Destiny. There's a few reasons you want to get this card. Number 1, the artwork is fantastic. You got Jolteon here taking care of a sleepy Togepi. There's also a sleeping Rattata in the background. It's a light Pokemon card, which we're only seen in Neo Destiny, which is pretty cool. And this card also gives you a card from the Neo series. And to me, like the Neo era of Pokemon cards are my absolute favorites. So you get a lot of things with this card. Also, you make sure you get an Evolution Pokemon card in your collection too. So this card just checks all the boxes. The main reason it's on this list is because I absolutely love the artwork. I love Neo Destiny. And this is just, when I think of Pokemon cards that I've just absolutely loved over the years, this one always pops into my mind. Anyways, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed looking at these cards. I certainly did. Feel free to like and subscribe. And let me know, are there any iconic Pokemon cards that you think should have been on this list that weren't on there? I'd be curious to know. It seems like whenever you put a list like this together, after you're done, there's always 1 or 2 cards that jump out and you think to yourself, man, that should have been on the list. Anyways, I'll see you next time. Take care.